But to another very striking report of tonight, we're taking a look at the Unity Warriors. The group known as the Unity Warriors emerged in 2022, becoming one of the most talked about armed factions operating across several counties in southern Cameroon. Their formation followed a period marked by shifting alliances, internal disputes, and growing mistrust amongst different self-defense groups. The story begins when Field Marshal No PT, previously operating in Ngoketunja County, relocated to Bui County while evading military pressures after a series of confrontations. Upon arrival, he was received by the Bui warriors under the leadership of Field Marshal Isobu, who offered him temporary protection and operational space. At the time, Bui was already experiencing internal tensions, particularly between the Bui warriors and the ADF-aligned group led by a commander known as Big Number. Now, this clash is intensified following earlier incidents, including the killing of General Manu Taiga, which had already strained relations among local fighters. Now, reports indicate that disagreements eventually surfaced between FM No PT and FM Isubu. Some fighters from the Bui warriors joined No PT without formal approval, and several were later killed in clashes, deepening the rift. The dispute ended with FM No PT breaking away and forming a new faction, the Unity Warriors, recruiting from fighters frustrated by previous internal conflict and promising them improved support and supplies. Leadership of the Bui Unity Warriors was handed to Mad Dog, a former Bui Warriors fighter. From this point, the group rapidly grew in influence across Bui, Nkoketsunja, and later other counties including Fako, Meza, Boyo, and Ndian, with some local camps reportedly joining for security or survival reasons. Now, during this period, allegations circulated about targeted killings, forced allegiance, internal power struggles, and strained relations with community leaders. One high-profile event often referenced is the arrest and later release of the Fon of Bambalang, which raised questions about the influence and decision-making processes surrounding the Unity Warriors leadership structure. While some argue that the group's activity contributed to a breakdown of coordination between frontline fighters and diaspora-led institutions, some others argued that the Unity Warriors lacked a clearly defined chain of command, consistent accountability measures, or established political direction. Financially motivated arrests and internal clashes were frequently cited as concerns. Some analysts also linked the rise of similar groups, including the APLC, to the fragmentation that followed the Unity Warriors expansion, which is a fragmentation that resulted in significant losses amongst fighters across multiple counties. In contrast, the Ambazonian State Army, ASA, positions itself as the structure seeking a more formal command hierarchy. Supporters of the Ambazonian State Army argue that clear county, local government area, and federal lines of authority are essential for long-term stability and for any future political negotiations. They highlight their code of conduct and post-war integration plans designed to provide social support for fighters and their families, similar to reintegration frameworks used in post-conflict environments around the world. But the central question remains: what does the rise and fragmentation of groups like the Unity Warriors mean for coordination on the ground? And how will these competing structures shape the broader security landscape as communities, factions, and political actors continue navigating an already complex conflict environment? And these are the questions that we'll have to leave to our news director, Mr. Ta Padi, and the rest of his panelists, including Commander Elvis, who is also the leader of the Bui County Ambazonian State Army. We'll leave this over to you now, Mr. Ta Padi King.